It is your boy Steve. I'm on Hollywood Boulevard, directly across from Greek Joint Kitchen and Bar, Mickey Burns Irish Pub, Angus Steakhouse, and bam! New palm trees, new lighting, and we're in front of Krakatoa Indonesian Cuisine, where we're filming episode 3 of the South Florida FoodTour.com podcast and video series. Look at this. Scary, scary, delicious food, right? Check it out. One of Hollywood's best kept secrets. Please join us inside. Thank you so much. We're at Krakatoa Indonesian Cuisine, downtown Hollywood, Florida. I'm with Chef Abe and John. Thank you guys so much for having me. The restaurant is closed today. These guys here at this amazing Indonesian restaurant have been part of the Hollywood, Florida food tour since day one. I very much appreciate you participating. And they closed the restaurant for us and are going to give us a few minutes so that we can talk a little bit about your amazing food here. So thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So,
Pleasure.
Yeah, thank you. And we like the attire. So before we get too far, John, tell me about your shirt.
So this is our logo, actually, and it is a how do you say?
Poron.
Poron. And so now we have it splattered on everything as big as we can get it. So this is the logo for our restaurant, our whole brand, and yeah. So we have it on bags, we have it on hats, our sandals, our socks.
Yeah, actually, this is a lion.
Yes?
Yeah.
Bath towels, beach towels, everything. And?
The question. I'm waiting for the question.
Yeah.
Is that, so, Chef, what would I call that? A tunic or a shirt or a cooking jacket?
This is a chef jacket.
Chef jacket.
But this one, the pattern from my island in Sumbawa and Lombok, we call this tenun ikat. Tenun ikat. Tenun is waving kind of stuff.
Okay.
How do you say that in
Waving?
Yeah, waving, and then ikat is the type of, because they are like on top of each other.
Okay.
So that's we call it tenun ikat.
Very distinctive. I feel
So
like
we had that made in Indonesia.
well, it's very eye-catching. I feel like I should have
Yes.
worn something more colorful.
Yeah.
So we're here at Krakatoa Indonesian Cuisine. One of the great things about this place in all of South Florida, I grew up in Miami. There's only really 2 Indonesian places of note. There's Krakatoa here in downtown Hollywood, which I feel like is still a kind of a secret, a best kept secret. And then there's another place down in Miami that's been there forever, Bali. And so thank you guys so much. As we discussed a little bit in advance, Chef, tell me, what food represents love to you from where you came from in Indonesia?
Oh my gosh. Is that the question?
Jumped right in.
Yeah. Okay. Food for me, love. I grew up in Indonesia eating. Do you want me to give you something strange?
Sure.
Okay.
What food
Stranger the better.
Yeah.
What food represents love to you?
Love.
Okay. Okay. Speaking about love, depending on the area where you are growing in Indonesia. For me, I used to live in a poor condition. I mean, like back then, it's poor. I used to be a maid. Can you imagine that? Okay, I used to be a maid. I used to work for people there since I was a kid. I was working when I was 8 years old, when I was in elementary school. So, do you know anchovies?
Anchovies, a little fish.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a food of love for me. I can eat that the whole day. And it actually is totally...
But it's way different than...
Yeah, it's not like
the
anchovy
typical
that you have.
anchovy
Yeah, it's not like
you would have
anchovy
here
you
in
have
the States.
here.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not too salty. Here, the anchovy is very salty. But there, you cook the anchovy with tomatoes, shallot, and garlic, and then you pour on the top of the warm and hot white rice. Oh my gosh, that's a love for me, because my mom used
And
to
they're
make that
crunchy.
for me. Yes, it's crunchy.
It's crazy. My mother,
Yeah.
may she rest in peace, she enjoyed anchovies too, Americanized version.
And
Yeah, and so is there an anchovy dish on your menu?
no, because the smell. Because when you cook anchovy, the whole restaurant will be like, everybody's like, what is this smell?
Yeah.
So yeah.
And what about you?
He
John?
does it at home sometimes.
Oh, the anchovies.
Yes.
Yeah, and it
And
reeks,
with sambal. I love sambal.
reeks up the whole house.
Yes.
And so, John, you grew up on a farm in Virginia, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so, to you, I know you've told food tour guests of the Hollywood, Florida food tour about some of your experience. So, what represents love for you from growing up? What food?
From Virginia?
Sure.
Oh, wow. like corn. I mean, we used to have fields of corn, and the whole family would get together, and everybody. I grew up on a dirt road, and my entire family was around me.
Okay.
My great grandparents, my aunts, my grandmother, my uncles, and all the kids, and every season when it was time to harvest corn, we would all go to my great grandparents' house, and they had a little house, and we'd have like 20 some people in there. And so that was always so much fun because we would all go in the fields, pick corn, like trailer loads of corn. And we would all go, everybody in the family would make something.
With corn.
With corn, but other stuff.
Yeah, I love it.
You know, like homemade hams and
Okay.
stuff like mashed potatoes,
Yeah.
biscuits and stuff like that, and homemade rolls. And of course, you know, pies and cakes and stuff like that. And we'd all go down there. But one thing I always loved was the corn because it was so sweet. And delicious, and you just bite into it, and the juices would just pop out all over the place. And it was just always a really fun experience because the family always came together, and which, you know, doesn't happen as much these days in this time period.
Sure.
And back then it was really, really fun.
Yeah,
I would say corn.
I had some corn too. My grandparents, they had some acreage in Asheville. I used to spend time there. They would fry chicken, and they would fry pork chops, and they would fry cabbage, and they grew corn and potatoes and sweet potatoes. They made applesauce and cucumbers. So that's me too. I love it. So I got introduced to these guys before I had the food tour. I saw them on Instagram. If you're on Instagram, follow them. It's very entertaining because Chef Abe has an alternate personality that comes out on Instagram sometimes. And what's your Instagram handle?
Krakatoa Cuisine.
Krakatoa Cuisine. And by the way, Krakatoa is a volcano in Indonesia. A lot of folks still don't know that. So I saw them. I was stalking them on Instagram. I saw them putting some of their different products and sauces and marinades. Saw them putting it in cream cheese one morning and eating it on a toasted everything bagel.
Yeah, everything.
And my mouth started to water like Pavlov's dog. And you all were having so much fun doing it. So I had to come in and try the food. I had a hot date with the 6-footer I was going to barbecue for her. And John sold me on this stuff, one of the products that they make. And they sell no preservatives. Very delicious. I made some steaks with that and helped me close the deal. And so I've always been indebted to them. And then when I came and started Hollywood, Florida Food Tour, you guys said yes right away. So thank you very much.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah. So what's sort of a dish that represents Indonesia that you serve in here? What is a go-to dish?
Oh, right. Speaking about Indonesia, we have more than 17,000 islands. You're going to spend one night in every island. It will take 52 years. You better go down.
52 years.
Yes. Okay. But then one thing that really represents Indonesia, I would say satay.
Okay.
It's a skewer kind of stuff in Indonesia because every island, they have their own chicken skewer. They have their own beef skewer or lamb skewer. So I would say satay. Do you want a second one?
And it's everywhere on the streets.
On the streets of Indonesia, any island that you go to.
Yes, and it's amazing.
Because one thing I've learned from doing tours here with John and Chef Abe is that there is no sort of eponymous food of Indonesia, except satay, I guess. Because every island, John has educated me, one island could have a Spanish influence, one could have Japanese, Portuguese, Chinese, the list goes on, right?
Indian, Arabic. Yeah, so that's, to me, where Indonesian food goes off in a different direction from other Asian-style cuisines, is that Indian and Arabic influence. The cumin, the coriander, the turmeric. That's personally where I think it goes off on its own. And it's hard to describe to people, too. So, but until you taste it, you go, yes, now I know. Because words just don't describe.
Yeah, and so John touches on something very important. All the food tours that I've lit here over 2.5+ years, folks love your flavors. They come alive. They have no preservatives. So you don't use anything that has a preservative in it, correct?
No.
Chef Abe is very militant about what he likes to cook with. Yes.
Yeah.
Kaffir limes too. You only like the full lime. You don't like powder or
And the leaf.
concentrate. The leaf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The actual fresh leaf.
So tell us about some of the other flavors I've had here. What are the pork rinds that you guys make or buy? Do you make them or
They're not pork rinds. They're called krupuk, and they are made out of tapioca flour. We do in Indonesia. There's many different shapes, sizes, colors, ingredients, and we do one here, and it's garlic flavor. A lot of people that are familiar with it, they're familiar with the shrimp version.
Okay.
But we don't, only because we always have a lot of people with shrimp allergies.
Mm.
And when we make them, they're only fresh for no more than 2 days. And we were ending up having to waste a lot. So we went with the garlic, and people still think they are the shrimp chips, so they're very similar in flavor. And they're a staple with any Indonesian meal. You would always get some type of chip with it.
Love them. And so you make them here in the restaurant?
Yeah.
Yeah. And are they made like in an air fryer or something like that?
In oil. So
In oil.
they're put in oil for literally like 3 seconds, and they blow up. You buy them in bulk, and they come in like little wafers, and tiny little wafers, and then you put them in hot oil for literally like 3 to 5 seconds only, and then they blow up.
They're very good and very distinctive. Folks love them. So your journey, I love it because John has told, I've heard it so many times with food tour guests. So you started at the Yellow Green Farmers Market.
Mm-hmm.
Yes? Number of years ago, 7, 8 years ago.
Now it's like
10 years.
10.
And so there you started, was it just you two when you started there? Yeah.
Mhm.
And you, at one point, had what, 14 or 15 employees?
We had 13 by the time we left.
At the Yellow Green Farmers Market.
Yeah.
And then, how does it go? You came back from a road trip or something, and there was a line to get in your booth. Tell us that story.
So we had left. I think we had been there maybe 6 to 8 months already, maybe, and because I think it was still just you and I.
Yeah, it's still
In the market, and we had left to take a vacation. We took my mom to Ireland, and which is supposedly potentially where we're from.
Okay.
And we came. Me too. And we came back, and as usual, Saturday morning we came in early with all of our stuff to open up the farmers market, and there was all these people in front of our booth, and the market was not even open, and we're going, what's going on here?
Where did you think they were lost? I mean, I can only imagine walking in.
I mean, we had no idea, and literally when we're getting out of the car, there was a lady there, one of the ladies there, and she says, "Oh my God, I heard about you on the radio," and we're going, "What radio?" And so she says, "Oh yeah, we were in Norman Van Aken had a spot on NPR." And typically he always talked about his own food, but supposedly he had given us a shout out. Supposedly he had been to our place to eat. We had no idea.
Yeah, I wouldn't know who he is if he was seated right here. Yeah.
But we were also not into, the typical food scene and knowing who was who in the food business and stuff. We were just doing our own thing,
And so what came first, sort of the food or the sauces, the marinades, or did they come out together?
I would say before you cook, you need to have the seasoning first. But the idea was in 2018 when we moved from the farmers market to the restaurant, because the first thing was I need to. When you train, Indonesian food is really difficult to cook because we start everything from scratch.
Okay.
So I need to find an idea how to make my cook easier to cook, and then it's faster because you don't want people to wait and they're going to be angry because they're hungry, right? So I want them to think we need to cook less than 15 minutes. So everything has to be prepped instead of chop there and put the garlic, put the coriander, put the ginger, put the galangal. That will take some time. So I need to find a way how I combine everything and it's just 1, 2, 3 spoon and put in your dish, and you are done in 15 minutes. That's it.
So if
Yeah.
you can imagine, there's like 10 to 12 different ingredients in each of the main seasonings that he uses.
Okay.
So to try to train someone
Sure,
to
your other
create,
cooks.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, because as we grew, we had to add people into the kitchen. We're going, okay, how are we going to train them? Because him by himself, he can put all this stuff together and make it perfect.
Right.
But then he had to figure a way to train them more easily. They didn't even have the taste.
Sure.
They're not Indonesian necessarily, and they don't have the flavor. So to put 10 ingredients in front of them and expect them to combine them all in the right proportion, wasn't going to happen.
So
And that's how he created those.
you started by
Yeah.
cooking, and then you knew you need to do something duplicable. So the sauce,
Yeah.
and then the hot sauce came later, I guess. Yeah. And so the good news is originally John and Abby, they developed these. They went to a co-packer here in the state of Florida. She was, as the story goes, pleased to see it because it wasn't a salad dressing or another
She was very excited. She goes, I don't know what your ingredients are, but I am so excited to try it.
yeah.
So we packed our car, literally,
I think I
with a
saw
whole bunch of
on
ingredients.
Instagram. I followed
Somewhere,
that. Yeah,
somewhere.
I followed on Instagram.
And we drove over, and she closed down her commercial kitchen for the day, and we unloaded our car with a whole bunch of ingredients, and she's making it. She's got all these expressions on her face because she has no idea what some of these ingredients are, and then she starts tasting, and she goes, "Oh my God, what is this?"
Yes, I get the same reaction.
Yeah.
Well, and I can tell you, I still feel like you have a made-up language. I don't know all the words, but I still love the food. So, Chef, so someone who would come here for the first time, what would you recommend they try? Sort of an intro to your cooking, to your magic, to your gift.
Close your eyes and choose one you will like it. Yeah.
I mean yeah.
Yeah, I mean like...
Barring allergies,
Food allergy.
Yes.
Everything is so unique in its own right, in its flavors, in its combination of things.
Yeah.
You could literally close your eyes and just be transported.
Yeah, and you mentioned, I think it was last summer, you went on a flavor trip, did you not?
Yeah.
Back to Indonesia, and you visited islands and cities that you had never been to, either of you. Is that accurate?
Yeah.
And it was obviously
We
part of
took
it.
18 planes in that 1 month trip.
And how many ferries? I know you told me like 30 ferries.
No, it was fewer ferries
Oh.
because we needed to move faster.
Okay.
So we took all the planes.
Yeah, as Chef mentioned, 17,000 islands. So obviously it was vacation. What did you find a specific recipe or a flavor that you brought back from that journey?
Yeah. We went to Flores, Komodo, right?
Yep.
Yeah, we went to Flores, Komodo. That's another unique and very distinctive flavors there too. So it's going to be a surprise. Maybe in a couple months, it's going to a new menu with Komodo next to the, Komodo. Yeah,
Like the dragon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It won't be fillet of Komodo.
Komodo dragon, okay. Or iguana, which they call
no.
chicken of the trees.
Yes.
No, we can do more monitors. We eat monitors.
Okay. Meat is meat. Yeah, with
Yeah.
some of this on it, I'd eat
It all
monitor.
tastes like chicken,
Oh,
right?
there you go.
Yeah.
So tell me what, so besides the wonderful food here, they're part of the tour, they have these sauces and marinades, they have an abundance of recipes on their website where you can incorporate these. What else do you guys get into? Tell us a little bit more. I know you go to people's houses, you have meal delivery. Tell us, you got all kinds of stuff.
We got into so many things. We are stressed. What did you do?
I mean, we do. I mean, we're not just a restaurant. We're thinking so much larger than that, and that's been for many, many years.
Yes.
We have a wall in our house that we just went crazy on about all the different ideas.
Okay, like a dream board, similar?
Yes, totally,
Love it.
absolutely. And I would say so much of it has come to pass, and but you know there's just there's so much more that can happen just in general with Indonesian food, Indonesian culture and stuff, because it's so diverse, so exciting, so old. There's so much history and stuff.
So
And-
what do you do? We do prep meals.
We do prep meals.
We do cooking class.
Uh-huh.
We go to a people's house and I cook.
Yeah. So so that's always fun. We
Yeah.
do a raffle during specific events that we do, like Mother's Day. We did one for Indonesian Independence Day, I believe. And we do a raffle where he comes in with a box full of seasonings and he goes through your cupboard and your refrigerator and makes amazing meals.
That drives
And-
people crazy.
Well, I mean, the first time we did it, the first time, I mean, I was nervous, of course,
Sure.
and we pulled up to someone's house, and Abby just starts going through, and even me, I was so amazed by what he was able to create.
Uh-huh.
I mean, he literally created a huge buffet for this family, and just with stuff. I mean, there was no recipe, there was no shopping list. It was just whatever was in there, and it was just so incredible the talent he has with putting stuff together.
And so when you do that, do you announce when do you announce it on your Instagram, like when the raffles will be able to, when someone will be able to get a raffle ticket?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they have to come into the restaurant.
Or the last time we did it, we were able to set it up online.
Okay.
So we sent a link to a page on our website to sign up for the raffle.
Okay. And
Yeah.
now, tell us where the meals that you do, the meal prep that you do, where can folks get those meals?
We do a cook unity, yes.
Oh,
Yeah, we partner up with a company out of New York called
Okay.
Cook Unity,
Okay.
and we are in their Florida region.
Market, yes.
And everything. So I would say Cook Unity is our opportunity to expand out of what we do here in the restaurant. Here we do very traditional meals that he grew up with in Indonesia, and we don't veer off of that because it's really important that we showcase things that he grew up with. But in Cook Unity, we do everyday types of meals. You know, he does a chicken wrap with a sauce made out of one of his seasonings,
Yeah.
and you just pour it all over the place, and you're licking the little container out of it. You know, there's salads, there's chickens, there's beef, there's tacos.
Burger.
I had the tacos yesterday.
Indonesian tacos.
Yeah,
I like
because
that.
we also order the meals.
Okay.
You know, we want to make sure the quality is always there. So, so our supervisor in that kitchen brought us over some of the meals yesterday to make sure that that we're maintaining the quality, and they were good. And I'm here. You know, the sauce comes with the tacos.
Okay.
You make the little tacos, and I'm like licking the leftovers out of the sauce out of making those tacos. Those were shrimp tacos, by the way.
Yummy. And so, Chef, what are a lot of the dishes that I see, certainly the ones that the food tour guests get served, I see like vegetables, raw, they're some pickled sometimes too, yeah? Tell me about those. And that's a great presentation. I like how you do that. It's very clean and crisp and compliments. Tell me about that thinking. That's an Indonesian thing?
Yeah, I mean, if I remember, Indonesian food is really healthy, actually, because everything is in your backyard. Everything is fresh. Everything is produce. Everything is from the story. We don't really eat animals product back then until all of British came, Dutch came, and all of that stuff. Then we eat milk. We do animals and all of that stuff. But back then, Indonesian is very healthy with no animal product. And then the more I think, we always eat something because there is a healthy benefit behind that.
Mhm.
For example, in Indonesia, you eat meat.
Medicinal.
Medicinal.
Okay.
What did I say?
Healthy.
healthy.
Healthy. The
Same thing.
same shit.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So when you eat meat, we always have cucumber
Okay.
or any kind of produce next to the meat. And I asked my mom why we always have this. When you eat red meat, you always have cucumber and you always have celery or something green. I say, oh, because when you eat meat, your blood pressure is going to go up, and then you eat the cucumber to balance the pressure. I was like, huh? Is that what you're doing? Yeah.
Yeah, and I see red.
I mean-
you use red cabbage a lot
Yes.
too. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah. Yeah, mostly something that is really
And
balanced.
it's pickled, and
Yeah,
he makes
it's pickled.
it. Yeah.
We make it here in the
Love it.
restaurant.
Yeah, that's another thing. Yes, and I don't know. That's what we do in Indonesia. I guess I'm so healthy now.
Yeah, we make everything fresh here.
Yeah,
You
love
know,
it.
so
Yeah.
and customers can tell the difference.
They sure can. I mean, your food is just stands apart from others. You just home run again. I believe it's the best kept secret. Much, despite our collective efforts, your efforts. So what's coming down the road? We got some Komodo dragon on the menu coming down the road. What else is in the
Next
future?
one, maybe we need to partner because I have an idea. Maybe we can take Steve with you too. We're gonna go knock the door,
Okay.
reach people in Miami Beach or somewhere so we can cook.
Yeah.
Instead of make a deal with them, I'm gonna go to your house. So no, we're gonna surprise them by
Surprise!
knocking the door. I'll cook for you.
Like Publishers Clearinghouse, but instead.
Okay.
Yes, 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 yes.
I don't know
yes,
if that's
yes.
gonna work. They would have.
Yeah, well, we get
Yeah.
stand your ground.
We're also going to Indonesia in October,
Okay.
and a good portion of it is going back to his island.
Okay.
So we're going to go to small villages and search out some new.
Oh yeah,
really good
yeah. I
food.
have in my I'm in my cooking books project.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I love
He's
it.
working
Oh,
on
so
a
you're
cooking
doing
book.
cookbooks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
fantastic. And so, for folks maybe down in Miami that go to this, what's the big food festival? Do you do it every year?
The
Fancy food show.
no
Or
no
taste the South
wine,
Beach,
wine and food.
South Beach Food
Food,
Wine Festival.
Yes, yes, yes.
So, you do that
Always get it
every
right.
year?
Yeah, we've been doing it. We've done it 4 years now.
Yeah.
They keep calling us.
Well, you're in demand.
Yeah.
So, if you're in Miami or you can't make it to Hollywood, which is absurd, they're very close. So, we don't want to hear that shit. But if you're in Miami and you're there for South Beach Food and Wine Festival, seek them out because they're there. And you made how many meals the last time?
The last one, when we did the grand tasting, we did like 3,000.
Damn.
Yeah, it was crazy.
That's-
And we ran out.
I saw the videos on Instagram. People were pushing each other out of the way.
Yeah, it was insane.
All right, so
It was insane.
what else do we need to know? We talked a little bit about the sauces. Are they sauces, marinades? What are they pastes? What are these things mainly
All of
for?
that.
So
There is absolutely something for everything.
there's salad dressing. There's
Yeah.
hot sauce. You
Yeah.
put it in cream cheese.
You can.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there is no limits.
No limit.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, there is zero limits.
Can I say something strange?
We
Please.
challenge people to find something that they cannot do with it.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
so. Okay. Another things okay. Let's say you don't even need to combine this with food.
Oh, just eat it as it is.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or put in your body and lick it.
Okay.
That's it.
I
Yeah.
love it. I can tell one of these is a hot sauce, which happens to be
Yeah.
my new favorite hot sauce.
This is the red one. This is sambal serai, and you like the green one. This is one of our Poron seasonings. And what's really cool about these, even though we say this is a sauce, you can pour it on anything, but you can also cook with it.
Yeah.
I mean, everything here is just a couple spoons or more spoons because I just can't get enough. And I always want one more spoon. You can literally do anything you want.
Yeah.
And, when people, it's really a hard question to ask when people say, well, what do I do with it?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it's literally endless.
Uh huh.
Yeah, because maybe people is thinking, I cook at home, so I have to buy it. You don't need to cook at home in regard for you to buy it. Like I said,
Uh huh.
dipping sauce you can put on the
Yeah.
top of your tacos. You can put on the top of your salad. So, yeah.
So a couple of
Because
weeks
it's
ago,
right
we did we were in DC for their big Indonesian festival,
Okay.
and they were able to organize him being on a morning show on one of the TV stations. And he literally took one of the seasonings and made 3 different dishes. He made breakfast, lunch, and dinner with the same seasoning, but they all tasted so different you would never know it was the same seasoning.
So that's fantastic. Just want to bring it up because we got a little sidetracked, which I love. Maybe the grape juice. So,
oh yes.
Besides Norman Van Aken's radio show, podcast, which was first, Guys Grocery Games or Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives? Guys Grocery Games.
Yeah.
I think it guys go through his game.
Yeah, and it almost did not happen.
So, if you're a Guy Fieri fan, which a lot of food tour guests are, the chef was on Guys Grocery Games first, and then John tells a funny story months later.
Yeah.
Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives reached out to John. Was it by Facebook or email?
No, they called here.
Oh, they called.
Yeah.
And you thought they were pulling your leg.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it was actually the first one. The second one, I said, "Oh, okay. You know that we were on the other show," and they said, "No, we didn't know you were on the other show." And but the first one, we received an email, and every morning I'm up way before him, and I check the emails, and I said, "Hey, Avi, we got this weird email because normally you delete 100 things before you get to
Something
viable that you need to actually respond to." And I'm going, "Hey, for the hell of it, I'm going to respond to it." And so I responded. I said, "Hey, if this is not a spam, we might be interested." And somebody must have been sitting at their computer because I literally got an immediate response.
Okay.
And it wasn't automated. It was a person.
Right.
And they said, "No, this is not. Please give us a call at this number." And I said, "Hey, Avi, it's not fake." And he went white. And he's dark skinned. He's going, "What?" I said, "Yeah." So that's how the first one, the Guys Grocery Games, showed up. And it was a process. They vet you and stuff like that. And we flew out to California where the studio is. And that was
the grocery store studio.
Yeah. Big warehouse that looks like a grocery store.
I've not seen them, so I have to look for
it was really funny.
For replays. And then most recently, you were one of Yelp's top 100 restaurants in the state of Florida.
Yeah, weird.
Yeah. Out of 26,000 restaurants.
Yeah, I had to Google it.
Yeah. So that's quite an accolade. Yelp users are, for better or for worse, they're not the most credible food critics, perhaps sometimes, but that's still an accolade in my mind.
They're definitely opinionated.
Yeah, they sure are. They sure are. Just ask Jimmy at the Greek joint. He's ready to hatchet many of them.
Yeah. So that was interesting.
Yeah, and so are there any other stuff that you can tell us, shows or anything that you're going to be on that's not a secret?
No, I mean we want to get on more. We're looking for more exposure.
Okay.
And it's not only the restaurant, but one of his goals is to showcase more about Indonesian food and Indonesian culture around the country. Because Indonesia is one of those, I would say, last Asian countries that doesn't have a huge presence here in the U.S.
Certainly underrepresented. No doubt.
Totally underrepresented, and it deserves so much more.
I couldn't agree more.
So it's kind of interesting. So that same little quick morning show event, the news person that was there, that interviewed him, that's on our Instagram, said, "Hey, we also do a 1-hour slot where a chef gets to really go in depth and talk about whatever." And so we're trying to get in on that one because it's just sharing his life story. The menu here is his life story, and it's about the Indonesian food.
Yeah, and the decor in here, and I've made mention of it to food tour guests. It kind of feels like I'm in your home, or what I presume would be your home. These look like your memories. It
is, and it actually tells a story. When I look at it sometimes, and I didn't have that original plan when we put up the pictures, but it actually tells a story.
Oh, it's nice. Yeah. It's endearing.
How we met and everything.
It's genuine.
Things that we did.
Yeah.
So it's
yeah,
kinda cool.
are you those two youngsters right there in that main?
Youngsters. Yeah, not anymore.
What else, Chef or John, have we not spoken about that we need to mention that you think is important?
What?
I don't know. Don't.
What do you want to know?
Well, this has been great. I think we've
Yeah.
touched on most of it. Will you cook something for us so we can get a little footage of you working in the kitchen? Nothing too complicated. What do you have an idea what you're going to make?
Yeah, since Steve is vegan, so we're gonna do mushroom
Ooh,
with one of the seasonings.
okay, fantastic. Is you going to have?
Do you like spicy? At all?
Yeah.
You're open to
I'm not vegan either.
Oh, you're not
Okay.
vegan?
No, I didn't mean to give that impression, but I said I'm impressed by your
vegan
vegetarian
options. Okay.
Okay.
and vegan.
Well, you know what? I mean, vegan or not vegan, the food is amazing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so should we?
I even tell that to our meat eaters that come to the restaurant. I said, don't discount the vegan options because they're that good.
I've had a fried sweet potato wedge here, Chef, that you did for my food tour guests and myself.
Oh, yeah.
And I've never had sweet potato that good anywhere. So very well done.
Okay.
Yeah.
And sweet potatoes are
Good
coming
for you.
in the garden. soon,
Okay. Well,
so
that's fantastic.
I'll give you a call.
Along with all that kaffir lime.
Yeah.
And I think you did a chicken wing one time too. And you probably don't have chicken wings on your menu, do you?
No, that's not necessarily an Indonesian thing.
Yeah. Well, it was a.
I mean, I guess it could.
it was a.
We had chicken wings this morning
Okay.
for breakfast with a spice. He made it with a spicy sauce, and he made some white rice with
Was
it.
that on Instagram? Did you film that for Instagram?
Soon.
Because
No.
Oh,
We ate it
I
too
didn't film
fast.
it. Can you imagine
Yeah.
that? I mean, like you have to film all of the time when you cook at home. That's so sucks.
You know, we
I
need
love it.
we
Your
need to
audience
just
loves
like install cameras.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just so
And
you
then when
flip
he
them
goes,
on.
oh, okay, I'm gonna go cook this.
Yeah.
And then it's recorded because it's always amazing.
Okay, today we're gonna make Oper Chicken. It's very easy, simple, and quick. You just need to dump everything and let them simmer 6 minutes. You are done. So we're gonna accompany the Oper with nasi kuning, which is a very famous yellow rice in Indonesia. So it's turmeric, lemongrass, lime leaf. And just pour it here. This is Indonesian chicken stew. It's curry, but it's not curry. This is Oper Chicken. So we have Oper Chicken and we have Indonesian nasi kuning or yellow rice, accompanied with red cabbage pickle, and of course our kerupuk garlic or garlic chips. It's gonna be wonderful.
Out of all the pictures that we have here, one of my favorites is this one. This is called nasi paran. This is when you can't decide on one dish and you get such an amazing variety, so many different flavors, so many different ingredients and vegetables and chicken and beef and seafood, and you just get it all. You just you can't decide on one, and then you get 100. So that was an amazing experience in Jakarta that I had. This is one of several masks that we have in the restaurant. This is a bottle, and it is a protector. So it protects our restaurant. It's for positivity. It's for prosperity. So yeah, there's different masks around Indonesia. I can't even say how many it is. And they all represent something culturally where they're from. But this one is a protector of our restaurant and all the positivity that we hope to come.